Here we go, folks. Time for another starting 11 prediction. This time for tomorrow's trip to Fir Park to face Motherwell. I actually nearly got one right for the first time in a while at the weekend there. I think I only got one out in terms of personnel. Welsh came in instead of Christie. I obviously had the formation different, but Neil Lennon kept with the 3-5-2, played young Stephen Welsh, who I thought was good in the game. I think that shows you actually how much Neil Lennon's enjoying the team in this 3-5-2 formation just now, that he brought young Stephen Welsh in while Simunovic was out, albeit he played really well, but that shows you Neil Lennon's faith in this formation just now. We got there and ended the weekend, and it was a big weekend for us. Rangers split them up again, opening up the gap to 7 points. They've got a game in hand, but the pressure is all on them now. They can't afford another slip up, and that's a good position for us to be in. We've got a big game tomorrow at Motherwell. If we can get through that, 3 points, I think we're in a really, really good position going forward. Scottish Cup to come at the weekend, but that will be the bulk of the away games that we've had since the winter break out the way. So big game tomorrow. Motherwell currently sitting third in the table. They're having a great season. Currently ahead of Aberdeen in that race for European places. Playing really well. They did lose James Scott to Hull last week. We've beaten them twice this season, but they are, by all accounts, the best of the rest in the league, so it will be a tough game for us. They've had 2 wins in their last 5. Got beat at the weekend away against Livingston. Livingston are on a good run themselves, to be fair. But that's a big game for us, so we'll get to the team. In goals, Fraser Foster, as it always is. I'm going to stick with the 3-5-2 because, as I said at the start there, we're playing really well in this formation just now. I think most people like it, having the 2 up top. Those 2 are playing well. And I think you can see 2 things from the weekend. One, I've already mentioned Neil Lennon's faith in this formation to put young Stephen Welsh in to keep the 3 at the back and stick with the 3-5-2. And another is that Moritz Bauer isn't fancied as a right wing back at all. So I'm going to go James Forrest out on the right hand side, playing as a wing back. He's comfortable enough to do that. This is probably the toughest game that he'll have had to do that since the winter break, but he's well capable of it. Got another goal at the weekend, 16 goals for the season, absolutely superb. Into the centre halves, as I say, Stephen Welsh was good, very, very good debut coming in. Joseph Simunovic is back fit, so I think Neil Lennon's going to opt for him on the right hand side of the defence. He obviously missed out at the weekend, plastic pitch, as I thought he would. I do expect him to come back into this game, obviously against third in the league, away from home. I just think this is a much tougher task for Stephen Welsh. I wouldn't necessarily be surprised to see him starting, but I do think Neil Lennon will go with Simunovic. Alongside him, Julian and Aya. Julian, mixed bag for him at the weekend there. Obviously battered, both him and Aya were battered about by Marius Ocampo in the early stages of that game. Ocampo got the goal for the corner, which Julian admitted was his own fault. It was his man. But listen, he scored a great goal, 78 minutes, when you're thinking, surely not, we can't afford to drop points here. He finishes Ryan Christie's cross off brilliantly for a centre half to open up his body, catch it in the side foot volley, high into the net. It was a great finish. He's a really important player for us, and I hope that he'll develop the ability to deal with these big physical strikers that we get in this league. Just stand off them, let them have to control it and turn and run at you, because that's their weakness. If you get involved in a battle with them, like Ocampo, he's a big boy, that can cause you trouble. But other than that, he'll continue alongside Aya. On the left hand side, Greg Taylor, who was brilliant against St Johnstone last Wednesday. Not so good, particularly going forward on Sunday. I thought he looked a little bit more conservative, playing a lot of passes back inside. He got booked later in the game, and then Johnny Hayes replaced him. Johnny Hayes had a great impact in the game, taking that quick throw in that started the move for Julian's goal. So Hayes did have a good impact. He is injured though, Neil Lennon says he'll be monitoring him, so I do expect Taylor to start at left wing back again. In the midfield, Scott Brown, 700 club appearances at the weekend. That's a phenomenal figure. It was well over 500 of them for Celtic. What a player, what a leader. Alongside him, Callum McGregor. Again, superb last Wednesday. Less so on Sunday, but those 2 will be in there as they always are. And Cham in front of them. One thing I will say about Olivier Cham is we need to start fining him every time he puts the ball at the park when he's shooting for 35 yards. It seems like every game he has one. We're building the play and he just decides he's going to smack it. And 99 times out of 100 it ends up out the stadium, never mind no on target. Other than that, I thought he grew in the game. He got a little bit better as we entered the second half, but then he came off for Christie, and Christie's impact in the game was huge. I thought Christie would come in the past 2 games. Actually, I've put him in my starting 11 prediction for the past 2 games, and I've been wrong both times. Sunday was because I thought we might go back to the 4-2-3-1 and he would have to play on the right hand side because we didn't have any options on the left. But I think he's going to come back in and play in his natural position in the 10. As I say, huge impact off the bench, got the assist for Julien's crucial goal, and then that opened the floodgates we ended up with 4. But he was huge for us, really incisive, opened up the door through the centre of the pitch. That was something we really lacked for most of the game until he came on. Tom Rogic came on to great effect as well, linked up beautifully with Edouard. The timing of that little pass for the 1-2 for Edouard just to run on it and finish, absolutely top class. But I do think Neil Lennon opted for Christie from the start in this game. Up top, Lee Griffiths, who escaped a ban today for that. Listen, don't know what it was, but it wasn't a stamp. He probably shouldn't have got involved in it, but I don't think it was a stamp. We've seen plenty of examples of that before go unpunished. I know the Rangers fans are up in arms like they always seem to be about refereeing decisions right now. I think that's a good sign though, because if you're complaining about referees, it means you're no winning. There's nothing in it. Morelos done something exactly the same, probably worse, to Anthony Ralston 18 months ago at Ibrox, and he didn't even get booked for it, didn't get looked at, he got off with it for the compliance offer as well. So listen, absolutely no problems with that. Griffiths I thought grew in the game as well, linking up with Edouard brilliantly, and I think, okay, he didn't get his goal, but he got 90 minutes under his belt and that will really help him. I do expect him to continue alongside the top man, the best player in the country, the top goal scorer in the country, the man that won us the game almost on his own once again on Sunday at Hamilton. Odsonne Edouard, as I keep saying it, running out of words to describe him. That free kick was absolutely terrific. I'm glad. Don't know if he was watching the post-match pint last week, by the way, because I was saying he needs to start taking free kicks and saying, listen, I'm a top man here, let me hit this. He done it, brilliant. His dribbling ability, is the way he rides the tackle, plays the 1-2 with Rogic for his second goal, and then finishes it, absolutely sublime. And then 5 minutes later, okay, he missed just about an open goal before this, but other than that, his role in the 4th goal for James Forrest is just terrific. He lets the ball run across his body, links up with Griffiths, 1-2, doesn't even look up, enters the box, doesn't even look up, cuts it back for Forrest, knows exactly where he is, and Forrest smashes it in. He is the best player in the country by a mile, and we've just got to enjoy watching him at Celtic for as long as we can. That's the team I've went with for tomorrow. Like the video, comment with your own thoughts below. Please don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already. We put so much time and effort into bringing you this content. It's free. All you have to do is sign into YouTube and click that red subscribe button below. That would really help us. We'll see you tomorrow from Fir Park for all the full-time reaction. Thank you.